Friday, December 5th, and here's everything you may have missed in business and finance yesterday. Stocks posted mixed results in a relatively quiet session as investors positioned ahead of today's critical PCE inflation report. All three major indices finished relatively flat. The S&P 500 edged up 11 basis points, the Dow slipped 7 basis points, and the Nasdaq gained 22 basis points. But the real star was once again small caps. The Russell 2000 jumped 76 basis points, continuing to outperform on expectations of a Fed rate cut benefiting smaller companies. Industrials and technology led gains among S&P sectors, both up around 0.5%, while consumer staples and healthcare lagged, falling over 0.5% each. The big story yesterday was initial jobless claims, shocking to the downside. Initial claims plunged to 191,000, the lowest level since September 2022, and nearly 30,000 below expectations. That sounds like good news for the job market, but the numbers may have been slightly skewed by the Thanksgiving holiday. We also saw the Challenger job cuts report, which showed November layoffs fell to 71,000 from October's 153,000, but year-to-date layoffs have now reached 1.1 million, the highest since the early pandemic era. Here in the U.S., Treasury yields moved higher following the better-than-expected jobless claims data, with the 10-year rising to 4.10. Notably, in Japan, their 10-year hit its highest level since 2007. Market expectations for a Fed rate cut next week remain solid at 87%, though down slightly from 89% earlier this week. Bitcoin briefly returned to positive territory for the year, trading at around $92,000 for a bit yesterday. Meta was the day's big winner, surging 3.4% after Bloomberg reported the company plans to slash its metaverse units budget by up to 30% next year. The metaverse team is housed within Meta's Reality Labs division, which develops things like VR headsets. Reality Labs lost over $70 billion since 2021, and investors cheered the potential shift away from the metaverse and back toward AI. A few other corporate highlights: Dollar General crushed expectations, posting its 8th straight quarter of comparable sales growth. Shares rocketed around 14% higher as the discount retailer raised full-year guidance. Dollar Tree gained another 2.6% yesterday after Wednesday's strong earnings. Both dollar stores are benefiting from consumers trading down amid economic uncertainty. Amazon weighed on the S&P 500, falling 1.4% after announcing it's reconsidering its relationship with the U.S. Postal Service, which it currently pays $6 billion annually for package delivery. Salesforce rose 3.7% on strong revenue growth and raised outlook. Kroger slipped 4.6% after reporting a $1.5 billion operating loss in Q3 and missing sales expectations. Snowflake fell 11.4% as investors focused on product revenue growing 29%, slower than last quarter's 32% pace. So a quiet session ahead of today's big data releases. This morning we are getting the delayed September PCE report, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, at 10 a.m. We'll also get University of Michigan consumer sentiment and factory orders. The PCE report will be critical for confirming whether the Fed cuts rates next Tuesday. It's finally almost here.